Hi folks, I just wanted to go through a quick discussion of, ratcheting combination wrench sets, and a little extra comment about these are the gear wrenches. The first real money I spent on a wrench set was this gear wrench set, and you guys could see I spent real money on that. I mean, I might have got it for $120, but I think I spent almost all of that. This set goes from 8 up to 19, and it's got all the wrenches in it. And what I like about these is they're flexy, and you could go forward and reverse right there. You just flip the switch, and it's, you don't have to turn it over to go forward to reverse. I'm not sure, but I bought this set a while ago, and I believe it was made in the United States. So I was very happy with this set, and everything was cool. It's just recently I found myself in a situation where I needed a 1/4-inch version of these. And unfortunately, I discovered and by the way, you can also lock this so that it doesn't move, right? So it could be fixed. I mean, these, I would consider the gear wrench the gold standard. Now, what I needed was a 1/4-inch gear wrench. I ended up using 8mm and kind of cocked it a little bit and so forth. I was working on the pellet stove, and one of those things where you're kind of on your knees and around, reaching to, and you're kind of doing one of those with it. So picking the wrench up and putting it down was very difficult. So I started my quest. And whenever I start a quest, it's like, now I gotta look at every gear wrench in the world. These are the Sears version. You could buy this right now. It's on sale for $19. I just got it, by the way. I was in there because my refrigerator croaked, and I had to buy another refrigerator. And we had to go to several different stores because our appliances in the kitchen are cream, off-white, bisque, as they call it, and nobody had bisque except Sears. We went through Home Depot, we went through Best Buy, Lowe's, and nobody had it but Sears. So anyway, given my quest, now I'm after 1/4-inch, and I ended up going through all of these that I've picked up over the years. So I found this guy has the 1/4-inch version. It's Sears, so theoretically it's guaranteed forever, but you can see right where it's made. So you can get this set, and once again, $19.95. If I were to make a suggestion between this and this, I would buy, obviously, the gear wrench. Home Depot had a bunch of gear wrench stuff on their Black Friday sale, and while I was out in Pennsylvania with my son, we hit a couple of different Tractor Supplies, rather. Tractor Supply had gear wrenches with their Black Friday sale, but it seems like the one, once again, that contained the 1/4-inch set was not available. This is a Tractor Supply wonder. As I was cleaning up the basement, I found it. You change size by flipping this around, and then once again, it's ratcheting also. So I figured I'd just show it to you. They had these for a little while, and then they disappeared. So the different sizes, right? 6 sizes top and bottom. I think, did I get the metric one? Looks like supposedly it does both. Normally that means it doesn't do either very well. So this is the Home Depot version. This is more expensive, but what I liked about it, and I've actually used these a couple of times now, you barely have to move them to get a click, right? The bad thing is you got to take them on and off to go forward or backwards. They also have the added feature, see that little thing in here? That means when you're going forward, it grabs, and then when you go backwards, it kind of ratchets, so it ratchets on both sides. These are a little more pricey. These were $29.95 for the set. And I just thought it interesting. Well, I was looking for the 1/4 incher, and I ended up buying a 1/4 incher. This is a gear wrench 1/4 incher. Because you know, for the job, it was so painful to kind of do without that I popped for it. This was an eBay deal. It was like $4.80 delivered, so anything to keep from breaking my back. And then various gear wrenches. I thought, this guy, friend of mine was selling these for like $1 each, and when I compare them against the Craftsman stuff, right, wherever they're making these in China, they're making the Techron. Blackhawk, but I'm going to make you guys cry. I guess what happened is Blackhawk moved all their stuff, lock, stock, and barrel, to Taiwan. I guess the factory and everything. So, whenever I see these at the flea market, individual pieces for $1 or $2, I just jump right in and buy them. Right, you can never go wrong. My suggestion, what do I think of all of them? For $19.95, just to get started, that's not a bad set. For $30, these actually work fairly well in tight quarters because you just barely have to move it, but it doesn't have the flex head, which is kind of a setback. You got some of these, like these are the Allen version. So you have the flex head, right? But you can't lock the flex head, and you can't go forward and reverse on the flex head. You have to take it off and flip it. So, back to my conclusion. After all of this, if at all possible, forget everything. Buy a set of SAE gear wrenches. Buy a set of metric gear wrenches. But if you don't have that kind of coin to throw around, and you're not at a Black Friday deal, Black Friday, you don't get every size, but typically they're somewhere between $30 and $50, depending on the set you get. So you don't have to quite part with that kind of coin. But if I couldn't get the gear wrench, probably for the money, for $20, these aren't a bad set. For $30, I've used the front of that a little bit. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what I think about it. By the time you get most nuts loose where you're using this kind of wrench, by the time the ratcheting thing will work, you're kind of just tightening and loosening the bolt anyway, and the ratchet kind of hangs on to it a little too much. So they're, you know, having used them, I didn't think they were worth the extra money. I don't know. See what you guys think, but I wasn't thrilled with it. I have to say though, the tighten it, the little bit you have to move it to get a click out of this thing, that was good. That I did like for tight quarters. That is handy. But is it worth the extra money? Handy. And about this pile of stuff here, you know, I needed the 1/4-inch one. I bought the 1/4-inch one. I spent almost $5 on it. Was it worth it? Yeah, it saved my back a lot of pain and suffering, right? I've already used it a couple of times. Not quite as tight an area as the pellet stove, but I've used it a couple of times. I've been happy with it. But whenever you could get these, and you could get them cheap, you know, go for it. But after all of that, and this, and those, and this, once again, my favorites are still the gear wrench. I mean, they have these China versions also. I have another 1/4-inch version of this, and I couldn't get it in there. It just wouldn't go. So that didn't help much. So my suggestion, if I was out buying wrenches, start with the gear wrench. If you can't get gear wrench, you buy a couple of these, you tie up $40. You have your SAE for $20. You have your metrics for $40. Not bad. I would spend $40 here before I would spend, $60 to put a pair of those into the set. But no matter what, if you're buying these for only $1 each, go for it. You just can't go wrong, right? They do make life easier. Gear wrench also. Well, that's the Allen. I think all the gear wrenches, that's Allen also. Nope. Yeah, that's Allen. I think. And one last Allen. The Allens are okay. I'm not quite sure who makes them. They probably come from China also. And just a quick tool suggestion. Anyway, folks, I really want to thank you guys for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now, folks.